Happy Flossiversary to me. Happy Flossiversary to me. Oh, happy Flossiversary, and my candle just went out. Happy Flossiversary to me, number one. Hi. It's been almost one day. Tomorrow will be 1 year for me having a floss tube. So this is my Flossiversary video, and it's going to be a WIP parade. Today, the date is September 8th, 2022. It's a Thursday. Tomorrow I have some plans, so I thought, well, I'm going to film it today. And plus, sometimes it's on your mind to film, and I can actually concentrate on stitching. So, happy Flossiversary to me. So, let's start with my first ever WIP parade. I have 32 WIP parades. Oh, WIPs. And numerologically, this is Flosstube number 23. So 23 and 32 to go. I brought a little timer up with me, thinking 32 if I'm 2 minutes each. This is a little game timer, so I'm going to just see if I can stay on point. I don't have any notes made, so I may or may not know the fabric. I might add that in as a note. Hopefully I'll be able to add in all the before pictures of what it'll look like when it's finished, etc. So I think first I'm going to just get these in a good order. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I don't know when I started on things or which is the oldest, but this is one of my fairly old ones. This was my first ever Heaven and Earth designs. I will show a picture of what it will look like when it is finished right here. And right now I will also put up how much percentage I'm at, because I didn't take the notes. But this is called Tempestfugit. It's by James C. Christensen. Like I said, this is my first ever Heaven and Earth design. I'm probably about halfway done. It's gonna go down to there, maybe a bit more than halfway. My error on this was, and I think I already mentioned this on my first video, was I added the margin, but I didn't double up the margin. So I added 2.5 inches, but only once, not 5 inches. So when I got across, I realized it was going to go all the way to the edge. So I cut it short because it's just wallpaper over here. And then the bottom, same thing will happen on the bottom, and it's just floor. So it'll work out well. I won't be doing the full 130,000 or whatever the stitch count is, but I'm personalized it. So Tempestfugit, Heaven and Earth designs, and it's just going to be the man standing there. He's holding a watch. I think it's pretty neat. So that's, oh, and I didn't set my timer, but for a while there I was stitching this when I was doing 24 hours of cross stitch. I probably will do that again, probably this one coming up. I just thought it was kind of appropriate with time and such, but I really do enjoy this stitch. It's actually, I don't want to start another Heaven and Earth designs or buy another one until I finish this, because I want to get things done too. But you know what? I'm going to have that showing properly. There we go. Okay. Next one. I'm going to start my timer, see how this goes. There we go. Next one is ones you haven't seen. I do not know how old these are. These are Tempting Tangles. I think that's the name of them. They have a series called Quaker in Different Cities. So this was Quaker in Scotland. I mostly finished this, except I haven't done the back stitching, the dreaded back stitching. So there's a little bit of back stitching to do around here. They are windows, and so you're supposed to do just the window frame. And then I was also going to I did put my initials. I was going to put the year and check and see if there's any more back stitching to be done. But I'm pretty close to done. but I'm not. So it is still a WIP. But that was Quakers in Scotland. It was a stitch along. The way it works with them is if you buy it as a stitch along, it's pretty inexpensive. I thought it was $5 when I first did it. I think it's $10 now. But if you buy it after it's done and get all the parts, then it's like $20 or $25. So I got on this as a stitch along, and then I got their next stitch. I got another stitch along just as it was wrapping up. So that was Quakers in Japan. So I have that on my all the parts because I bought it right before the stitch along finished. So I actually instantly got all 12 parts, which I think is probably the smartest way to go. I had a hard time keeping up with the Quaker in Scotland stitch along. I felt pressure. So, you know, it's just kind of how it is. But anyways, this is Quakers in Japan. And there's this fan that's right there. And then what else is on here? There's a dragon. Oh, it's hard to see. It's hard to figure out. I think this is a dragon here. Oh, is this upside down? I think it goes this way, actually. Yeah, it's hard to figure out. I should get back on that because I can't even figure out what I got. That's like a pear or something there. But it is pretty, and I completely forgot about that until I started this WIP parade and tried to go through my cupboards and find my WIPs. So my last March matchup, I forgot all about this Quaker. So, okay, not really paying attention to my time, but another one, this is from, I want to say this is at the start of 2022, I found the, what's called a year in black work. This is the 2021, I believe. I think I have both downloaded, but I think this is the 2021. And so I have it all on my Chromebook. It's a little different doing because you can't really mark off what you're doing, but I actually really enjoyed doing black work. So I'll just take that up a little closer. I think it's really quite neat. I was picking my own colors kind of randomly. My husband had given me a bunch of floss for Christmas, and so I was trying to use those colors and just do it. And I don't even remember the colors now. They're probably actually put into my main thing, so I'll probably have to redo that. And I was doing kind of like leaf work there. I didn't like it at the time, but now I don't mind it. So I'll probably keep with that. I think it has some words along there. And so that is, oh, I think that's only like a quarter of the way down. I don't think it's necessarily the whole length of this, but it is some distance. So I will get back on that. This timer must be only a minute. It goes pretty fast. I'm not going to time myself anymore. Okay, so speaking of stitch alongs, because those are all stitch alongs, I have two more stitch alongs. So this year at some point, I think I was watching Alara's WIP parade and I saw Dark Queen of the Sea, which I'd seen lots of times, but for some reason it suddenly struck a spark in me and I had to buy it. So this is Dark Queen of the Sea, which was, I believe, 2019, 2020 stitch along. I changed the hair color and oh, I love this. I really, really love this. Not too long after I started this, they announced their next one, which started this September, and I did start it, Dark Queen of the Earth. But let's first just enjoy Dark Queen of the Sea. This is done on, I hope, a 28 count even weave, because for Dark Queen of the Earth, I think I got a 28 count. And so we'll see how, hopefully they're the same size. I would like to, not sure if I'll frame these or what. So right now, this is Dark Queen of the Sea, and she is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then the Dark Queen of the Earth, which is a mystery stitch along. We got our first part. They come out every first of the month. So it came out 1st of September. And so this is the start. I'm not quite done yet. There'll be another of this right over here, and then a little bit more of this yellow, but I'm mostly done. I think I got about less than 1,000 stitches to go. So it's around 2,700 stitches the first part. So this is my Dark Queen of the Earth start. And it's going to have bead work. And there was one person on the website who said she had an extra set of beads. Would anybody want them? And I hadn't bought beads. I was going to just try and use something from Stash. And so I said, I don't have any yet. So she's actually mailing me. I offered to pay, but that's going to be some stitchy kindness coming. So that's going to be really neat. I found some old Kryneck in my stash that I bought for a different project, but haven't started the project. So I put Kryneck in with a DMC, sort of a beige DMC. It's supposed to be Silk Lame, Petite Treasure Beige Silk Lame, I think. But that's what I'm using there. So that's pretty neat. Okay. I'm not keeping count, but so let's see. Let's just go with that's some of the older stuff. Yeah, let's carry on. We're gonna have my regulars at the very end because you guys seen them a lot. So Twisted Band Slamper. Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions. I'm doing some of my own colors, pretty close to their colors. I was trying to do a band a month. After it's got 17 bands, so I did a few, and the first few bands are actually quite quick, and then so I got 4 bands done, and then I was going to be doing a band a month, and then something like that. I can't remember, but I'm off track. I fell off the wagon in June, I think. So, but this is my Twisted Band sampler. So I am right now working on, I don't even know what band number, but I do love it and I will get back to it. Right now I have a focus of finishing Halloween at Hawker & Hollow by Halloween. So things will change after I get to that goal. So Twisted Band sampler. It's it's a neat stitch. It's a mix of cross stitch, which is every other band. One band will be cross stitch, and then one is a bunch of specialty stitches, and then cross stitch and specialty stitches. So you have to be kind of careful because when it's specialty stitches, it's on a PDF. It doesn't go in a pattern keeper. And then the cross stitches are in pattern keeper, and you're just trying to get exactly where you are. It's a little tricky. So I've had a few miscounts, but make it work. So once again, that's my Twisted Band sampler. In hindsight, I think I would have rathered I'd done it on white, but it is what it is. So this is one I have not shown you guys. When I was on my retreat at Stitch North, I bought my first Mill Hill and worked on it a little bit. Haven't finished it yet. So this is the Mill Hill I bought. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And how much have I gotten done so far? I've gotten that much done so far. Let me just put something behind it. I think that's the right way. Yeah, that's the right way. I even park threads on a little Mill Hill. But there you go. That's what I got done so far. So it's a fun little one. Different working on it, that's for sure. I wouldn't say it's all that easier, but it'd be a good travel piece. I probably should take it more traveling. I don't. But that's my little wee Mill Hill kit. They're not cheap. I'm actually kind of shocked now that I look at the price tag. Sometimes when I'm traveling, I'll just have fun shopping because I don't get to go to shops very much where we live. Right now I look at that price and go, wow, it was $16 for such a little thing. Next was a recent start. This start was a start. You already saw it as a start. I started in August. I'm going to work on this every 10th of the month and maybe the 20 and the 30. But so far I've kept up with that. Definitely the 10th. So this is by Glendon Place. It's called Poltergeist Pirates. And that's what it'll look like when it's done. And I have a mistake. So I have to I'm not going to frog, but I have to figure out where the mistake is so I can kind of fudge it and get it back on track. So that's what I got done so far. So a little bit of a crow's nest in the sails. And when I got to here, these weren't matching up. So I just have to see which one I want to get them right in. It'll be fine because I think there's nothing with the top part. So I think I can figure it out. I just got to sit down. I was trying to do it when we were traveling and I just got frustrated. So I didn't put it in timeout. I just needed to be in a better headspace to deal with it. This is one I started this summer, and it's Kathy Barrick, a bee study, I can't remember, and it's a book, and so there's one part of the book, then there's the spine, and then another part of the book. So I will show a picture of what it looked like when it's done here. Haven't been doing that. But that's how much I got done so far. So I probably have, I'm going to guess about maybe a 10th done, maybe, or an 8th. I'm not sure. We'll see. I meant to be more organized for this than I am, but you get to see them. Okay. Next is my temperature tree. And I am woefully behind on this. I think if we count out January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and just a tiny bit of August. I got to get my button gear on this, but this is my temperature tree. I will always think of this. We went to an auction and I stitched most of the brown of the tree at the auction, and I'll still always remember that. I love stitching memories into things, but I do have to get on this and get it done, get caught up. It won't take long. It'll probably take me about an hour to get caught up. So maybe tonight I do that. I think I'm right now going to put that aside, and that is what I'm going to do tonight. Okay. I'm going to pause a second for coffee. Okay, so, oh, excuse me. Coffee always makes me cough a little bit. So this is my next one. It's called Christmas Jewel. It's by Just Nan. I'll bring that up close. So I picked this up at sort of a de-stash. It was, had a stitching store, and it was like a consignment stuff, a whole bunch of stuff from someone who passed on. So this is what I got so far done. It's a bit of a challenge because just the way it's the pattern, and I'm using some different, they're called embroidery threads, but they're not like what we're used to. So it's just a little different, but that I got at a thrift store. So that's one I really like, and maybe I'll concentrate on that more closer to Christmas, but I'm not going to make any promises. So I know everyone always, when they do WIP parades, will start like, oh, I want to get back on that, and try not to do that because we do love all our WIPs, but I will revisit them all sometime. I will do another matchup. Next is a stitch along that I'm again way behind, and this is the Tarot Cell. It was through a Facebook group, and they come out with 2 cards each month, and I have done the first month, and I believe they're probably now 8th month or 9th month, so it's getting close to being done, but that's okay. So I didn't even finish my frame, so it's behind, but it's still there. It's still there for me. It is still there. Next is, I don't have the picture of this one. All I could find was the pattern, so I wasn't going to show that, but it's essentially a cat on a couch. And so I think it's called Black Cat. And so this is one I won in a giveaway on Friday Off the Grid Needle Arts, and the person who gave it away was very kind and sent me some extra stuff, which was really nice. But that's the cat so far. I'm probably, I'm gonna guess well in halfway done. So again, there was some kind of error and I just gotta fudge it a bit to get it back on track. I think I'm close to back on track on it. It's just on a 14 count Ada, so it's always weird when I go back to it because it's probably one of the few I have on 14 count now, and it just feels, for when I'm doing 3 strands, and so I have to remember that, and it just takes me a little while to get into it, but yeah, and it's all just black and gray, so it's black 379, 3799, 317, 3413, you know, those sort of things, and even blends of the blacks, and I'm like, oh, so, but it's there for me to do. Next is Pandemic. There we go, Pandemic. Got a long ways to go, but I did have I was starting to do pages, trying to do page finishes, but it's got a long ways to go. I think I'm around 30%, but we'll put all the percentages down when I can. But that's my Pandemic. I have another long dog. I'm going to just show this a bit closer. So I'm kind of trying to work over there, but it's my Pandemic. It's a hard one to show. This is on 18 count white Ada. I did buy another long dog. It's the Pointed Fifths. It will probably be my New Year's Day start. I didn't really want to start another long dog until I finish this, but it might just get started. So I don't want to have too many WIPs on the go. And for a while there, I was wanting to finish a WIP before I start a next WIP. We'll see. I'm going to just have another coffee break. Okay, next one is a near finish. This is probably the first one that I can get finished. And I was going to spend an hour a day to try to finish things up. So this was originally a sale that I did last year called Nightmare Before Christmas. And it was just the house, and then all these characters came out, I think almost every week or every day, I can't remember. And then I added, because our cat passed away, Captain Frosty, I decided to turn the house into a boat. And so I added this cat here and this cat over here, and with a steering wheel and an anchor. And then I did the outline of the boat and put the words down at the bottom. Captain Frosty, long may your big jib draw. And then what I was going to do was I was actually going to color in the boat. And I started with a brown and it wasn't showing up very well. So I'm probably going to do black. And I just got to get to it. So there's that still to finish up. Next is Heaven and Earth Designs. This is one of the bookshelves. This is a stitching shelf. It's a mini. The detail doesn't come out very great in a mini, but whenever I show this, I realize it's not so bad. So I got a little disappointed when I put in, I think I gotta take my glasses off, I can't see. There is a woman stitching right here, and I thought, oh, it's kind of hard to see her, but you know, it is what it is. And so I think it's fine. So I like I said, I got a little disheartened. It's on 18 count Rustic Ada, Rustic Oatmeal, and I think from a distance it actually looks kind of good. So I would never do probably a mini again unless I just didn't clue into that there's a difference in the detail that you get, and you just don't do an Amy Stewart as a mini. So again, I'm resisting buying another Heaven and Earth Designs. I actually already own another one I haven't started. It's also a mini, and I don't know how it's going to turn out now after this, but I'm also not going to give up on that one. But I have to finish this first. So I'm a long ways from anywhere on this, so it's just there. This is, I remember, this is a test stitch for Paint with Stitches. It's called Salty Day, and it's a rock with waves crashing up. It takes a while to actually get things to see, and just because it's rocks with waves and a little bit of the ocean, there's nothing behind in the sky. It doesn't move fast enough for me to actually see things, but it is neat when it's done. Like, it is gorgeous, the rock. It's just, I gotta just, you know, it's something I don't actually think of doing or wanting to get back to, because the subject matter is not as exciting as some other things. But with Paint with Stitches, I also have a stitch along that I was doing, and I am behind. So it's actually finishing up, I think, next month. I think it's a duck on the water. I'm behind. I'm really behind. So, but this was a fun stitch, and I should really get back to it. It's browns. I just got to get my button gear, and I have to upload each one into Pattern Keeper. So it's just a little bit of, you just work on, and some of them are like that. You're just working on that one section. So there you go. Next was a new start this year. This is by Modern Folk Embroidery. And this is the corner. So, and I haven't gone down right to the bottom yet, but it is Hound and Hare. And I'm gonna do some rewording on it. But that's my Hound and Hare, and I'm doing this as a monochromatic, obviously, which it works well as. But I'm always leaving. Oh, I think I lost its needle. Nope, there's the needle. Okay, good. So I think it says, let the chase the hound the hare, something like that. So let the hare the hound. Anyways, I had some words I was going to do there instead. I need to chart them out and just see how I go on that. So anyways, that's one I like to work on with when I'm trying to get stitches in challenges. So this is I believe it's a one-of-a-kind by Leon Roxy fabric that I got at the retreat. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's lovely to stitch on. So I really enjoy that. So looking forward to getting back to that at some point. Okay. This is probably almost one of my first. I don't have a picture what it'll look like when it's done, but I believe you all know what Starry Night looks like. And this is a stamp kit that I got off of Amazon. And it is using three strands again, so I got to remember that when I do that. And I worked on it a bit this year, and it's just it'll be a process. This one I don't expect to be done anytime soon, but you think stamp kit would go fast, but they go the same speed as everybody else. But it's kind of neat. I still like it. I just have to do more at some point. So that is my Starry Night. And this one, I don't know if I told you before, but when we first bought this house, we came out here each Easter. And so I remember coming out here, and there's like nothing in the house except we had 2 chairs in the kitchen. And I was just sitting in the kitchen. We had the radio going. We had this old time radio station playing, and there'd be some funny radio songs, including the Streaker, and stitching along to this with this old radio shows playing. It was a very fond memory, and I probably always remember this. I also stitched this as a travel piece for some time. Okay. This next one is one I associate with the Stitch North because I took it with me on Stitch North. I don't think I started it there. I'd already started, but hadn't done much. So Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's done. I'm doing my own color conversions. And it's quite small. But I'm mostly done the border-ish. Just got a tiny bit more to go. But, you know, it's actually a fairly small stitch. It's gorgeous on this fabric. This is a Cerafilm fabric that I got in a stitchy box. And again, I'm kind of using my own colors. But, oh, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'd like to get back to that one. Okay, next, speaking of stitch boxes, I belong to Black Needle Society for 4 boxes. Then I decided to stop. I was lucky I never got dinged by customs, but it just was a little bit more expensive than I wanted to afford myself. So my very first box, I got this, which is Modern Folk Embroidery, The River. And I changed some things up, but I was doing this as my rainy day stitch. I had the fabric, but the floss came also in the box. And the floss was a Forbidden Fiber Company, and I think it was called River of Life. And it worked so well on this fabric. I just bought the fabric because I like the fabric. And what I changed up was there was a series of numbers in the sampler at the top here, and instead I put birth years of 6 generations of women, like mine and my mom's and my grandma's and my grandmother, blah, 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 blah. So, and there's also some words at the bottom that I might change, or I might just do as charted. It says at the bottom, the river that flows in you also flows in me. And I think that this actually might be a nice gift for my mother. So I'm actually thinking I should finish this up as a gift for her. And I just came up with that idea. I could make it into a pillow, even though it'd be a fairly small pillow. I still could make it into a pillow. But that's the river. It's gorgeous. Okay. Next is one of my own, or my husband's designs. This is a pick to pat that we did. It was a photograph that he took. I think it is sunrise. And I named it Murder Row. And this is the full top right corner, or top left corner, bottom left corner. And I believe it's going to go to about there. So I'm about 60% done, maybe 65. I don't think there's another, there might be one more crow coming up. I think there's 4, oh no, there's 4 crows. So I've done the last crow. So that's Murder Row. And I think it's spectacular. I really, really like it. I really do. So my goal was to finish this year. I got sidetracked on that. So yeah, there's only about 30,000 stitches left to go on it. So, and I really can go as far as I want because it's just sky and land. But okay, next are all my regular ones that you see weekly, but you haven't seen them in 3 weeks. So it's still worthwhile to watch. So first we have Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. And I've now gotten all of the outside blocks done. And for this month and next month, so this is to be completed by October 31st, I'm working on the center square, which is counted as 2 blocks, but that's where I'm at with the witches. And all I've done so far for this month, it is September 8th, but I've been working on Dark Queen of the Earth. So once Dark Queen of the Earth's done, which should be just 3 more days, then I'll get on this. So I've done the square around the block outline. They always have a black outline. And then I get to start on the center. So, and I got my colors all pulled for it. So, but this is my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. So since you last saw me, I finished this block here. And it says, in the moonlight, in the shade of the yew tree. I'm sure you can actually read it. It is pretty. I really, really enjoyed this. just recently I joined Alara and Stitching Moon have a Facebook group. It's sort of to encourage, it's a support group type thing, or encouragement to lose weight or be healthy or to have activity. So whatever your choice is, and you can pick a reward of like a stitchy reward. So my stitchy reward is to get another Hawk Run Hollow, which I'll probably get map of Hawk Run Hollow, but I'm going to do it in stages. So those are my reward. That's going to be my next reward. But first I really got to finish this one. And because I do love stitching it. I really, really do. This is on a 36 count Denim Days by some company that I'd never heard of before. I got it as a D-stash of Michelle Bendy's. And so, and it's worked really well. Next is, I think you guys have seen this. I'm pretty sure you have. It is called Disintegration. It's a freebie by Heaven and Earth Designs. And it's going to be a big, huge dragonfly. And I'm doing this as an experiment. I was trying to stitch this in 1 year. I am way off track. Story time. So I was on track, and about a week ago Monday, week ago Sunday, my husband didn't decide. He'd already planned it. Left to travel across the country to visit his mother in BC. And so he left on the Sunday, and the Monday everything was on track. I had a whole plan. I was going to do all sorts of things going great. And then at noon I get a message from him, and his truck has died in Quebec. And so we went through a day-ish of trying to decide what to do, if he would buy a new car, or if I'd go pick him up. The following day, we finally decided I went to pick him up. So last week, I took 2 days to drive to Quebec and then pick him up, and then 2 days coming back. So at that time, all my stitching goals were put on hold. So this is behind, needless to say, because I was doing 500 stitches a day. So I am now a week behind, and I unfortunately have kind of not wanted to get back to it because I got the Dark Queen of the Earth, and then I got Hawk Run Hollow. So I will get back to it. I'm doing this as tent stitch on 18 count, 2/1 8 up. And I think it looks pretty okay. Pretty good. So I will continue with it. I just won't get it done in a year, but maybe I can get it half done in a year. Okay, next is my daily stitch, and this one is a little bit softer goals because I'm trying to finish this for my husband's birthday, and which is February next year. And I was I think right now I have to do 103 stitches a day, so I always do extra, so that's doable. I was down to 100 stitches a day. Now with the week off, I got up to 104, and now I'm back down to 103. But let's just move this out of the way. Needle minder. So that's where I am at this one. I'm still got a tiny bit to go here, a few extra stitches, and I'm working on some more black across there. Then I'm going to be in a big red section. That should go fairly good. The black goes really easy too. So, but this is the Porsche. We call this Felix. So here's Felix. There we go. Finding my threads. A thread hanging. There we go. Okay. This isn't a daily stitch, but it just got in when I was pulling things. This is, yeah, I think it's the right way up, birthday cake. And so I did a lot of this around my birthday. It was a birthday start in 2021. And this year on my birthday, I did a little, I don't know how many thousand stitches I did, but I did a good 12 hours on it. So, but this is birthday cake. All those white holes in there, those are really white, and I have stitched them. It's hard to see, but it's kind of a shame to be doing white on white. It's actually a crew, so it should show up a little different, but yeah, it is all stitched pretty much. You can kind of see that it's a crew. Well, you can't, but it is not actually white, but anyways, it looks white. But that is Birthday Cake by Carol Manning Designs. And I do have another one of hers, Peridot, that I would start after I finish this. And this is nice because it's on a small piece of Aida, so it works well with smaller pieces or scraps or whatever. So then I got Fruits of Plenty. And I have just finished June. So I was doing a block a month. I think I might start a block a month again after Halloween at Hawker & Hollow is finished, or in the new year. But this was Fruits of Plenty. I just needed a bit of a break, and so it's on pause for the moment. But it is got the first 6 months done. So, and I'm doing that with my own colors. I got 3 colors in there, and it does look nice. Just a little faint to see, but that's my Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery, which was a 2021 stitch along. But I bought it, well, I bought it during, but I didn't start it till 2022. Next, I didn't bring the cover sheets for these. I just kind of quickly got this together, but this is Language of the Flowers by Rosewood Manor. And what did I work on? I worked on, I'm down here on this page here. I finished off this page over here. It's doing my own colors again, and it is gorgeous. I really do love it. I really, really do. I'll just bring it a little closer if I can and just show you where I'm at right now. So right down there. This is one of the biggest ones coming up. I think it's quite large. But there you go. Language of the Flowers. And interesting enough, they have, I think, U or W, I think it's U, has no flower name. So all the other letters have a flower name. And we actually looked up and we found a flower name. So I'm actually going to improvise and chart that in and put it in. It might be a bit tricky. I might have to move things a bit, but I'll figure it out. So, but that's a ways away. So I was doing a page a month, and I decided to give myself a bit of a break, and now I just work on it every Friday, and what I get done is what I get done. No goals, no whatever. Next is on Mondays, I work on, I call it Medieval Mondays because I'm working on a chatelaine, and it's one of the medieval herb garden, and it's called Herbalarius. And so where's the top? This is the top. So this is what I got done so far. So it's this big, huge center block, and then it's going to have columns around it. So just trying to get this center block. Hopefully I'll get it done by the end of this year, and then be working on other start on the other parts, and then I can work a little bit easier with the pages, because right now this is about 4 or 5 pages, so it's a lot of flipping and stuff. And I lost one of the colors, so I had to buy another color, which is fine, it's just DMC, but it takes me a little while to get to it. So when we were on the road trip, I made a stop at Michael's and I got some. So anyway, so this is my Herbalarius, and I really, really do love it. I still have all the beads to go, but that's Herbalarius. Herbie. There you go. Make sure everyone still has their needles in their magnet minders or needle minders. And then lastly is a Teresa Wentzler, and this is Wentzler Wednesdays, where I work on, it's called Brilliant Plumage. And I'm trying to get it done in a year because I want to pass the stash. So I was going to give this to somebody. I'm off track again too. So, but we'll see. I haven't given up hope on this yet, but I got this done in 3 months. One page is 4 pages, and I have to finish this one by the end of October. And so I'm not very far on it, but anyways, this will be halfway done once it's done across there. I am horrible with threads everywhere. There we go. I do park. But this is a brilliant plumage. It's challenging, but that's what I was working on yesterday and the day before, and I might work on a bit today before I put it away. This was my goal today, to do a floss tube so I could carry on with other things. So that was 32 WIPs. Yeah, that's good. That's good. None of them have been too, there were a couple but 32 WIPs. So that's it. That's it. I got my candle going again, so I'll just blow out my candle. Happy Flossiversary to me. So going forward, I'm not sure how long I'm going to do Flosstube. We'll just see. I'll try to keep at it. It's a bit of a chore at times, but you also just get started and get going, and it's okay too. So I'll carry on for maybe another year. The whole point of doing this WIP parade was so I could actually have a comparison and see in a year from where I was on some and where I am in a year, and how many more WIPs I have in a year. Hopefully it doesn't get too much. I would never want to get over 50. That's just me, but I don't mind having a few more, and I know I have lots in kits right now. And I might do a kit parade sometime, maybe, I don't know when, and I don't know if I'm going to continue with how I do my WIPs. Looking forward to Halloween at Hawk Run. Having monthly goals was a bit too rigid, stressful, taking away the fun, feeling the pressure. So I think next year I might be a bit more relaxed, or maybe I'll have like monthly goals in that I work on one a month, focus just on a monthly, or I do more spinning the wheel and kind of random. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, fall is here. I love fall. It's beautiful weather here right now. Really, really beautiful. And life is good. My husband's home. We lost a truck, but I might be getting my mom's car because she's not driving it anymore, and it has barely any mileage, and it would mean I get to drive across the country again. So that might be next spring. I fly out to my last town, spend some time visiting with my mom, and then drive her car across the country. So that's exciting. But that'll be next year in April, May. So after Stitch North. So there's lots to go. That's a long ways away. So it's been a year. It's been quite a year. It's funny just thinking of everything and looking back. One thing I did do in the last little while was when I went away suddenly, my neighbor very kindly offered to look after. We have 2 birds, the one dog. The one dog was with my husband, and 2 cats. And so when I had to leave quickly, I packed up the birds into our Subaru and was going to leave the cats. It was only going to be for 4 days. They got lots of a kibble self-feeding and water self-feeding. So I was just going to go. And just as I was leaving, my neighbor offered to look after the cat. So that was very kind. So I actually stitched her the thank you that with Fruits of Plenty, they have, he had a little thank you at the very end of it as a bonus. And so I stitched that. So I'm going to show a tiny little video of right here of that. Hi. This is a stitch that I did. I started it yesterday and finished it today, and my husband helped me FFO it. So we finished it up. It's a quick stitch that was at the end of Fruits of Plenty and Modern Folk Embroidery as one of just a thank you from Jacob. And so I did it as a thank you for my neighbor. She looked after our cats when I went to rescue my husband in Quebec. So just wanted to show this FFO. It was a very fun, quick stitch. Thank you. There you go. And so I gave that to her. And so it was that was just like a 2-day. I almost did it in 1 day, but not quite. That took up my time too when I came back. So that's probably why I'm a little bit off my routine, but I'll get back. I'll find my routines, and I am going to try to get, okay, I'm saying it now. Today is September 8th. Next time I'm going to film, we'll try to be 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks. So I will see you in 2 weeks, whenever that may be. 14 and 8 is 22. So I will see you sometime soon. So happy stitching, everyone, and thank you for celebrating my Flossiversary with me. Bye.